A man is whatever he wants to be. A man is primal and animalistic. Both extremes fail to provide a positive and healthy way for men. Let me explain. So let's say I'm in Frankfurt and I'm trying to make it to Hamburg. Hamburg is to the north. And you tell me, George, go wherever you want. Eventually you'll make it to your destination. I probably will not reach my destination with those instructions. But if we're honest, there's not just one way to make it to Hamburg. I don't have to go on the Autobahn. It's possible for me to go through villages and through smaller roads to make it to Hamburg. So I feel like there's a balance that can be had here. Because if we tell men, do whatever you want, then we're lost. We're confused. We don't know what to do. But if you say there's only one way, a man is someone who doesn't show emotions, then you create so much rigidity that men feel like we're constrained, like that we don't have the freedom to express ourselves the way we would like to. So I'm going to add to the conversation. You can say that I'm wrong, and it's perfectly okay. We're on the internet, we can disagree. So these are the thoughts that I have about masculinity in giving a general guideline of what I consider to be a man. The first point is a man serves his family and his community. Now we tell men, okay, do whatever you want. So that's exactly what a lot of men do. They said, okay, I can do whatever I want. I can be selfish. I can indulge. So then they go out and they waste their life on video games. And some might say it's not a waste of time. Okay, we can agree to disagree on meaningless sex, on overeating. Because since we don't give them any responsibility, no direction, then that's exactly what you get. So, what are the real consequences of that on society? 1 in 4 children in America are growing up without fathers, are being raised in single parent homes. And children who are raised in single parent homes are more likely to commit suicide, have higher rates of incarceration, have higher rates of youth pregnancy. These are real issues, real problems associated with men not taking responsibility for their family. And I look at my own life, my father was always there. There was always food on the table. The rent was always paid. And even emotionally, when I look at my nephew and my nieces, they're really close to us because my brother and I were very affectionate. We hug and we kiss. We give them as much love as we can because that's something that we learned from our father. My father was always very affectionate with us. So that's something that we can now give to these children. And just because you say, hey, I'm providing for them financially, I'm a CEO. But if you're not physically there, then you're not living up to your responsibilities. And beyond the family, then there's also the community. There are people who would give their lives for my father because when they needed help, my father was there. And I've always seen that my dad was always ready and willing to help the people around him. And I respect him so much for that. So, number one, a man serves his family and community. And there's not just one way to do it. There's many different ways to serve your community. Like I said, there's not just one way to make it to Hamburg, but more or less, we need to follow a direction. You can serve your community in whatever capacity you think you can. Number two, a man is competent. Nowadays, we tell people do whatever you want, and we start to celebrate mediocrity. We celebrate laziness. You watch a lot of films with men in it, they're presented as stupid and they're just a funny comedic one, but they're not really competent in any way. And we celebrate that in this culture. But I think a man is someone who reaches for excellence and is not satisfied with mediocrity. I don't care what that is, whether that's to be an electrician, a mechanic, a garbage collector, a pizza delivery man, whatever that is, do it to the best of your abilities. When I look at the men that I admire, they're the best in their field, whether that's in public speaking, in sports, and politics, whatever it is, be the best in your field. Mediocrity, someone who complains, someone who makes excuses, someone who is lazy should not be celebrated. I will give you basic human decency, but I'm not going to celebrate it. And that's why I think competence is a very important quality of a man. And number three, A man is humble. And this is the hardest one for me to talk about because it's one that I have failed to live up to for most of my life. For a lot of us, we think that to be a man is to be strong and arrogant and to think that you have everything figured out, that you don't need help from anybody. You got this. But we're human and we're flawed and we make mistakes. And when those mistakes happen, to admit it shows your manliness. When you've hurt someone, to apologize, that shows your manliness. To demonstrate, you know what? I need help. That demonstrates manliness, not the opposite. And in my own life, I used to be, well, not used to, I continue to be in many ways very arrogant and I think that I'm a know it all. But life has really beat me down and has shown me that, George, you think you know what you're doing, but the reality is that you have no clue. And life has really humbled me. It's knocked me to the ground. And I had to realize and say, what am I doing? I need help. I need to ask for forgiveness. When I was 32 years old, I sat down with my father and I'm like, Father, I need to apologize for the way that I treated you, for the words that I've said to you, for the way that my character has brought dishonor to our family. And because I was willing and able to ask for forgiveness, now my relationship with my father has improved so much more. By admitting guilt, when you've committed something wrong, you actually allow for the possibility for healing, for reconciliation, for restoration. So, number one, a man serves his family and community, and that can be in any capacity. Number two, a man is competent. I don't care what skill that is. Follow whatever it is that you're passionate about. For me, it's public speaking, it's communication. And I'm not saying I'm good at it. It's something that I want to continue to develop and get better at. Number three, be humble. Admit when you've made mistakes. Ask for help when you need help. It doesn't show weakness, it actually shows strength. That's my contribution. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.